Hello everybody. I read Honeysuckle and I kind of want to talk about it. I should give a little disclaimer. This book is very, it traumatized me. It's very traumatizing. We're going to talk about non-consensual sex, if that makes sense, assault, and just craziness. This book is just, it's a lot. So just to warn you about that, that's not your kind of thing. You get out of here, go and have a great day. If you are someone like me where curiosity gets the better of you, and let's stick around and let's talk about this shit. I first heard about this book from watching a Instagram video where it showed like the dedicated page for this book, and it read this: "Your pussy, with how she will weep for me when you read this." I don't know about you, but I have two pussies, and I don't know how this book is gonna make them cry. I don't want to see you guys be sad. It's a good joke. I feel like this was worth it, right? Just to clarify, we're in a no judgment zone, so no judgment, okay? Curiosity got the better of me, right? Curiosity got the better of me. I just needed to know what it was about. Basically, the beginning half of this book is like, okay, middle part, and then the last part, huh? Like, that's how I would personally review this book. I didn't like this book. This book is not for me. I wasn't prepared for what I was going to start to read. I was traumatized. This book really traumatized me. So let's get into it. Let's just start off this glorious, I have light shining on my forehead. It starts off with our main protagonist, main character of the series called Creed. And when I first heard the name Creed, I thought Creed from The Office Creed. So it took me a while to step away from that and not think of Creed from The Office. This is a different Creed altogether. So that was already a mind fuck for me. And I through half of this book, I pictured Creed from The Office, and it just made it so much more worse in my brain. So it was awful. It was awful. Anyway, Creed gets kidnapped by a group of scientists who experiment on him and inject various sorts of different kind of DNA into him. So the lineup of DNA we have werewolf DNA, we have vampire DNA, got a little spice of dragon DNA. Okay. And of course we have octopus DNA, because yeah, it's one of those kind of books. So get ready for that. And then finally we have snake DNA. I from what I can remember, the snake DNA didn't really do much to him apart from like change his skin in a sense, but yeah, so that's that. While they are experimenting on him, he kind of gets aroused by a certain smell that he smells on someone, and so, you know, his little downstairs friend gets kind of, you know, hey, I'm here for the party. You know. The scientists decide to take his little friend and just to slice it in half. Just to make it clear, I don't have a little friend. I have a lady friend, and I was like, ugh, I was cringing at it, and I was like, oh my god, this is truly disgusting. I was like, oh my god, this is vile. So it really sets up, I guess, yeah, it kind of sets up some gruesome parts of the book. So because that happens, he has like healing stuff from one of the various DNAs he has injected into him, and his little friend turns into a tentacle friend. Yeah, so that happens, and I was like, okay, right, it is one of those kind of books. And this is the first time I read a book like this. I was very much like, okay, we're doing this then, okay. Basically, in the end, he kind of goes a bit crazy. They tried to make him do it with a lady who also had been experimented on. He murders everyone, all the scientists, and you know, he escaped. He lets all. I'm pretty sure he lets all the people who are experimented on go free. They're out there in the world now, just out there in the ether, doing whatever the hell they want. He goes to this town. He murders a man. He's living inside this man's cabin in the woods, and there's been like a scent that he's been following for a while now. He finally can't ignore the scent anymore, and he goes off into the town to find out where the source of this smell is. He arrives at a diner where we meet our other main character of the series. What is her name? Oh, fuck. What is her name? Demi. I was going to say Josie. It's Demi. Her name is Demi. She works in this family-owned diner. Like, every woman of her family has been in charge of this diner for over years and years, and now it's her turn. It's her diner now, and it's her pride and joy. She works there with one of her friends. I can't remember his fucking name. What's his name? Does it matter? It doesn't really matter that much. Let's call him Kevin. His name is Kevin. It's not Kevin, but we're gonna call him Kevin. Maybe I should find out his name. Hang on. Alright, I was looking up to find out what the friend's name called. And this sums up this book so well. There is a limit. This is the limit. That's so true. Oh my god, that's the best review I've seen. Sorry, I couldn't find the friend's name. He's called Kevin. We're gonna call him Kevin now. She works in this diner with her friend Kevin. Been friends for years, all's good. The Creed enters the diner, sits in the back. Oh, by the way, he's very disfigured now. Like, he's not like, I think he must still be good looking. Like they always make him still good looking. But like he's like kind of, his skin's kind of gone a bit gray now. He's got scales. If he gets angry, his form changes a little bit more. He looks different, let's say. He's a bit more like, oh, Creed. He sits in the diner. Demi comes over, but he notices she's getting harassed by another customer in the diner, sorry. And he's like, touching her, and she's like, no, bitch. And he's like, yes. And she's like, no. So there's that. She notices with him, there's like a little bit of tension between them two. Like there's something there, but she doesn't know what it is. And she's intrigued by him, let's say that much. Creed is noticing the other guy, and he's like, I got eyes on you, bro. That's my lady. Because lo and behold, they're mated. They're mates. Because of course they are. It's his wolf DNA in him. He's like, that's mine. He finds the guy who was harassing her. He finds out this guy would like watch her from her house, from her bedroom window. He would take pictures. He would hang out with his little friend, have a bit of a time watching her from his window, which is, he's a bit of a peeping Tom, essentially. So Creed naturally murders him, fair enough. He murders him. He decides to follow Demi home, where he finds out he can fly. He has dragon wings from the dragon DNA, because of course yeah, he can fly now. So he flies, follows her home, and after hearing the story of, this man creeping on her, you would think he would do the right thing and just go away. But no, instead, he decides to do something far worse than that. So he, actually no, before he does anything, because of his wolf DNA, he has to mark his territory. So he pees in her back garden to mark his territory, and then breaks into her house. When he enters her house, she's in the bath, and she has like music playing. She has like an eye mask on, so she like can't hear anything that is like going on in her surroundings. He goes inside her bathroom, sees her having a bath, and he does the natural thing, and he decides to hang out with his little friend. He obviously finishes hanging out with his little friend and decided to leave. Oh god, how am I gonna explain this? His little friend's buddies. Is this making sense? I hope this makes sense. I hope you get what I mean, right? He decides to leave them in her bath, in the bath water. So then she's washing in that, because it's to mark her more. But don't worry, there's more. Then he goes into her bedroom and decides to pee in her lotion bottle. That way, when she moisturizes, it's him. His scent is on her. This is not okay. This is not okay. This is the moment in the book where I was like, this isn't for me. Like the topic, like the quote of the day, curiosity got the better of me. So I kept fucking reading. The next part, oh my god, no. And then he fucking decides, he's like, I need to watch her. I can't watch her all the time. So what should I do? I'm gonna break into her house tomorrow. I'm gonna put security cameras everywhere. That is not okay. That was the second time I was like, this book isn't for me. But curiosity's got the better of me. I need to know how it fucking ends. So, yeah, so he did that, which is like, Oh, we find out that the guy that he killed, the police show up, they find out that his heart's been ripped out and all this kind of stuff. And Demi's like, in her mind, she's like, I feel like this was a gift for me. I'm just like, okay, honey. Okay, babe, sure, okay. And oh my God, and also he's like messaging her. Like he's like been like privately messaging her. She doesn't know who is messaging her, but it's Creed, obviously. Not the Office Creed, but Creed. And they're like, I left, you know, it was for you, it was a gift. And she was like, oh my God, I bet. God. But she's also like, who the fuck are you? And also kind of like, who the fuck are you? You know? Anyway, Creed leaves cameras, and then he finds out that there's a certain tea that she drinks at night. So he's like, I'm going to use this to my advantage, and I'm going to drug the tea. This is where the book starts to like kind of upset me more and more. So he decides to drug her, and I think you know where this is gonna go. But before that, she's asleep and he, you know, hangs out with his friends over her, and it's just like, oh my God, I don't like this book. I don't like it. I don't want to talk about this part too much because this was like, I think I finished reading this book in like 3 days, essentially, like 3 like evenings I would read it in. This is the second evening that I read it, and it just, this one, at the end of this reading session, I felt so sick. I felt really sick reading this book. I was like, I don't like it. It upsets me, and it's just like, but I had to finish it because, you know, I like to torture myself. So I kept reading. Drugs her, and he has his way with her. And I think he does it like 2 nights. Like there's 2 nights that he does this. And I didn't know this when I was first reading it. And I think it was like there's like another scene where I realized what was happening. So, and I'm going to warn you, this is disgusting. This is really, really disgusting. I'm just going to warn you right now. It's not pleasant. I'm going to put a timestamp where I will stop talking about what I'm about to talk about. And if you want to know, we're going to talk about it. If you're curious, let's talk about it. But if not, here's a timestamp when I'm going to go on to the next probably disgusting, crazy part of this book. Okay. So certain animals have a thing where when they, you know, have time with other animals of the same race. I'm trying to keep this as clean as possible, but it's been so fucking difficult with this book. For a way to make sure that their seed is spread, they have to kind of like, they have almost their little friends lock themselves in so that the ladies can't get away. And that's what he has. That's what his little friend does to her. He guarantees his seed to go inside of her. It's awful. I hate it. And then I didn't realize what was happening till like towards the end of the book, but the whole knotting thing. And I was just like, oh, it makes it so much worse. It makes it so much worse. So guess what? She's pregnant now. Oh my God. Also, she was a virgin at the very beginning of this book. She was a virgin. So now she's pregnant. And she has no idea that she's had sex. She wakes up the next day after the 2 nights of him doing whatever the fuck he likes because, you know, I'm Creed. She wakes up in the morning not feeling great, really not feeling good at all. And guess who shows up? Guess who just turns up at her door? The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Yeah, we're now at the second half where this book goes off the rails. We're in crazy town now, so let's fucking go. So the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse turn up and they're like, listen, this has happened to you. This is wrong. And we need to stop this because this person is completely out of control and he can't control his animalistic urges because pretty much he's got so much different kind of alpha DNA and they're all trying to like take control, and it's why he's kind of like going all over the place. He's all like, I want to do whatever the fuck I want. That's when she finds out they're mated, that like that's her mate. So they take her back to her diner. And Creed obviously senses that something's going on. Wait, does he see it on the cameras? I think he sees it on the cameras that he placed around her apartment. Oh my God. Sorry, I remembered also a thing. She was on the pill and he murdered her doctor for putting her on the pill. Like, because he's like, he's stopping you from me having my seed, having for us to like mating together. And I'm just like, oh my God. Let her make her own choices, you fucking idiot. I hate him. I hate him so much. So they go to the diner, and I also should say, I'm rushing through a lot of this book. Like, they had like the odd conversation together, but nothing like too crazy. She's been very like intrigued by him, but nothing's kind of like gone anywhere, like talking to each other. It's just been like a little bit of hand holding, a little bit sat next to each other, like, I don't know why I like you, even though I shouldn't like you because you're a fucking weirdo. Anyway, they go to the diner. Creed turns up. That's kind of going all crazy. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse get him under control. And Demi's like, oh my God, I don't want to see him in pain. But also he used me. He had his way with me without consent. And she's very torn in this because, like, that's her mate. But also, he did a horrible thing. My mind is he did a horrible thing, so get rid of him. But she's like, no, I don't know what I want. And it's like, oh God. Oh, we find out that her friend Kevin, I realized I really struggled. I really like frantically wanted to find out his name. I've hardly mentioned Kevin. So Kevin, I find like Kevin is some kind of like otherworldly creature as well. Like he's like some kind of like water elemental thing. Which is like, oh, because he's like, throughout the whole story, he like smelled her, like, that she smells different because that's Creed's urine all over her. Anyway, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse take him away to like limbo to try and do like, to like try and get him to like control his powers more and all this kind of stuff. He's there. He wants Demi. Demi's also missing him. So it's like, oh, like, she's like, they're gradually like falling for, she's falling for him because it's her mate. So, sorry, I keep saying it like that. I just hate that they found this like, oh, they're mated, so everything that he's done is fine because they're mated. I'm like, no, it isn't fine. This isn't fine. This is horrible. I don't like it. Anyway, Demi goes to see him in limbo. They kind of like have like a moment. It's sweet. It's kind of sweet, but he's in like a bubble. I don't know. I don't really know why. I guess it's so he can control his powers more. They can't touch each other. Yeah, they want to touch each other, but they can't. And then some more time passes, and then is at a point where Demi is like she's pretty much depressed. She's like really depressed. She's not taking care of herself. She just wants Creed. All she wants is Creed. Her body yearns for him. And then they bring Creed back, and then they do it. They do it, and it's consensual, and it's fine, so it's good. But there's one thing I didn't realize at the time, and she says this while they're like, going at it. But she says that they have their first kiss. Isn't that cute? They share their first kiss, and she's pregnant already, and they only just had their first kiss. So that's fucked. That's so fucked. They're happy together. Everything's good. They're like, we're gonna be together and make this work. He decides to buy the house across the street from her because they actually they're into this stalking thing. It's like their little kink. That he like pretends like to stalk her and like send her messages and stuff, and she's like, oh my God, I love this is like our thing. But obviously she's pregnant, and she's getting pregnant very quickly because of all the different kind of DNAs and things. But the issue is they can't see the baby inside her, and then they work out why that is, because she has an egg. She's got an egg inside her because of the dragon DNA. Gonna give birth to an egg. When I read that part, I was like, okay, all right, let's just do this. Okay, yeah, she's gonna give birth to an egg. Let's fucking go. So she comes in. Oh my God, the labor. I didn't get this. I did not get this at all. When she went into labor, she had to give birth in they had to like go into the sky. They went into the sky. They did it in the air because he had to do it with her so that she can be wide enough to give birth to the egg. And he had to like almost why did my brain make a slip and slide, essentially. Had to make a slip and slide so that it would be easier for the egg to come out. You catch my drift? So they go back to the house. She gives birth to the egg in there. Oh, they have a nest. They have a little nest, and they have the egg in the nest, and it's like, okay, now we have to wait for the egg to hatch. So the egg hatches, and they have a little baby. I think it's a boy. I think they have a little baby boy. And all's well that ends well in this really very strange story. As I tap the final page, because I read this one on my Kindle, because I'm not going to go out there and buy the physical copy of this book. I don't want people to know I read this book. Apart from you guys watching this, You know, we know that I read this book. You might have read this book, but I don't want people who come to my house to know that I read this book. Because I bought it on my Kindle. It was like tucked away in the digital realm. And as I clicked the last page, lo and behold, it's like book number 2. I can't read book. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it. I can't read that book. I don't want to know. When I started reading this book, I realized it was like a stalker, like kind of like fantasy thing. I didn't know that going into it. And I think if I had known beforehand, I probably would have been like, maybe not. Then again, we went on one fucking hell of a journey. She gave birth to an egg, man. What the fuck? So I said to myself, if this video gets over 100 likes, I'll read book 2. I'm doing 100 likes because obviously like I have a very small channel. I don't think my videos have ever like gotten past like 3 likes. So the thought of getting over 100 likes is wild to me and very not possible to happen. So I'm in the clear. I'm in the clear. I'm not gonna end up reading book 2, so hells yeah. So my final thoughts on this book. This book is not for me. I read like a lot of fantasy books. They're the ones my favorite. This one was very much a different section of fantasy. I guess it's still fantasy, even though it's like fantasy set in modern day, because it's like modern day stuff still. But I didn't like it. If you are someone who does enjoy this book, by all means, you enjoy that book. This book was just not my cup of tea. I felt very gross and very like the second half of that book, the part where like he like drugs her and stuff, it made me feel really ill. I really didn't like it. I was like, I don't know. I like that stuff to be consensual, and I didn't like it. I was just like, no. But I mean, the crazy stuff with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse and the egg, that stuff was like, holy shit, this is fucking wild. And I'm very happy that I've tormented myself. Thanks, curiosity, bitch. But I guess we could take one good thing away from this book. Hey, my cats cry. Right? Is this still a joke? And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please let me know. I would like to talk more about different kind of books that I read. Not some on this kind of level, but maybe like some other weird, wacky books. So if you have any recommendations for me, let me know. I'm happy to read them and I'm happy to talk about them. So yeah, it's your first time being here. Hi, I'm Sad Panda Child. I normally do video game content. I really want to talk about this fucking wild book. This book is fucking crazy. So like, subscribe, comment if you fancy it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys. Fuck you, curiosity.